Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone Zero, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. This week, there are quite a few things to go over. Not only is it a new month, but also a new patch is just around the corner in a couple of days. First though, let's go over the new month stuff. Of course, this means that all of the in-game shops have been reset. So, remember to go and buy the 5 encrypted master tapes as well as the 5 regular master tapes over at the Signal shop. And if you're looking for their copies, you can grab Seth and Corin, who are the A ranks in the shop this month as well. There's also the Scott Outpost shop that resets, giving some master tapes, upgrade materials, and the Notorious Hunt reward boxes. But now, most importantly is of course patch 1.3 that will be coming on November 6th. And with that, Yanagi's banner, which will feature Anby and Billy as the A ranks. Alongside that, of course, will be the weapon banner that'll feature Yanagi's signature Time Weaver engine, as well as the signatures for Anby and Billy. By the way, if you are curious to know more about Yanagi and her kit, to help you decide on whether or not you want to pull for her, I do have a video going over Yanagi in full detail, so feel free to watch that after this. Now of course, even if you aren't going to be pulling for Yanagi, we will all still be able to enjoy the 1.3 special story, Virtual Revenge, which I think might convert some people into pulling for Yanagi, even if they weren't initially going to. As always, it'll be nice to see more about Yanagi's personality in game. Fair warning though, this is being advertised as a special story as opposed to a new chapter. The reason I say this is because patch 1.1 was a special story with Jane and Seth. Meanwhile, patch 1.2 had a new chapter with the Tour de Inferno. So even though I am sure that this special story will be amazing, just know that this might be more of a side story where Faith and, Belle and Weiss aren't really that involved like how it was in 1.1. Now though, moving over to the social media side, firstly is the Mo Chukka Fire event. This is relating to a music video that was released a few months ago actually. It was an image song dedicated to Ellen Jo back when she debuted at the start of the game. And it was produced by Issei. It has over 30 million views and was definitely a huge popularity boost to not just Ellen Jo but obviously the game itself. And so to commemorate this, there is a fan art event based around the Mo Chukka Fire music video, whereby using this as a basis for your work, you stand a chance to win 5,000 polychromes and $300 if you are chosen as one of the top 10 works. And even if you don't win though, there is also a lucky draw for entering, where 10 lucky winners will receive 2,000 polychromes and $200. Submissions for the Mo Chukka Fire fan art event will be accepted all the way up until the 24th of November. Also, just in general, I highly suggest watching the video anyway, it's just a really nice song. Now, speaking of creating fan works, we also have another fan art contest, this time dedicated to Yanagi. Once again, we can all look forward to a nice influx of amazing Yanagi fan art, and for those who submit their work, you will have a chance to win up to 5,000 polychromes and $300. You have until the 28th of November for this fan art contest. Now, although it is November, Halloween may be over, but there is still one last chance to get a trick of your own, or rather a treat of your own, by heading to the official Zenless Zone Zero Discord server and sharing some Halloween stories, jokes, or your favorite candy to earn some polychrome and dennies. Now, I'm not sure about the rules, but no, I do not think that your S-rank pulls count as horror stories. But like I said, with it being a new month, we are also given another new calendar wallpaper for both mobile and desktop. This time it is Soldier 11 for November, which I only now just realized, but it's probably because November is the 11th month of the year. I see what the devs did there. But again, what good is a calendar if you don't mark specific dates on it? For example, the birthdays within November. Specifically, Billy and Nicole, who both have their birthdays in November, and to celebrate, there is another cake decoration event where submitting a decorated version of this cake before the end of the month could earn you 300 polychromes. Otherwise, if you yourself have a birthday in November, I wish you all a very happy birthday. Now though, over to the speculation zone, of which there is something very interesting to talk about. So of course, as expected, even though patch 1.3 is coming right around the corner, the drip marketing for patch 1.4 started with a teaser being shown off for one of the next agents that we can expect in patch 1.4, that being Asaba Harumasa, the electric attacker from section 6. Now, this was shown off over on Friday, November 1st, and every other time before this, for patch 1.1 and patch 1.2, these characters were shown off on a day-by-day basis. So we expected to see Miyabi, or anyone really, on Saturday, but we got nothing. And then Sunday came around, and again, there was no other teaser. It is only Harumasa. This is raising quite a lot of suspicions. Of course, the big question on our mind is, where is Miyabi? Does that that mean that she won't be in patch 1.4? Surely they would have her, right? If it's not going to be Miyabi, who else would they have in patch 1.4? Now, allow me to put on my tinfoil hat and make some schizo theories. Maybe it's because they aren't done cooking with Miyabi yet and they aren't ready to show her. Maybe there's a few last minute changes going on behind the scenes. And we know that this can be done because, at least visually speaking, one of the adjustments that they made is that they adjusted Miyabi's face, right? In an old redo renovations, they did mention going back and touching up some agent characters to improve their visual quality. But aside from her visuals, we know what she looks like, we've seen her, and I don't think they're going to do anything drastic in terms of her appearance. But realistically, why would they want to avoid teasing her if she is the next character in 1.4? I feel like it'd be a no-brainer that she is going to be there with Harumasa. And it's not like anything is really given away in these little teaser videos, right? It's not like they're showing off her kit, her attacks, what her skills do, or their damage values or numbers, stuff like that. However, the one thing that is revealed, or rather two things, is the character's element and type. So of course we saw that Harumasa is now an electric attacker, right? And if they were to show off Miyabi, they would also have to show off what her element and attack is, or what her attack type is. So, who knows? Maybe the reason they don't want to reveal Miyabi is maybe because there's something fishy going on with the element or type that they don't want to show off just yet. Again, we do have pretty good reason to believe that in 1.4 there will also be a banner rerun, as there was a banner rerun in Genshin Impact as well as Honkai Star Rail in patch 1.4, and in both of those cases, that rerun banner was the very first limited character of the game. So, in theory, 1.4 will not only feature Harumasa, but it will also feature an Ellen Joe rerun banner. Now, I don't think it'll only be those two banners. I think, again, from past experience, the 1.4 rerun banners are more of just an additional banner as opposed to replacing a regular banner. But if it is going to be Ellen Joe as the rerun, we know for a fact that Ellen is an ice attacker. So would they really want a patch where two of the three banners are both attack and ice characters? I'm sure it won't matter in the grand scheme of things because people will just pull for whoever they like, right? But in terms of the quote-unquote the meta players who, you know, they don't really care about the characters, they just say, I just need an ice attacker, that's all I want. They'll probably only choose one and not the other, which I hate to bring sales into this, but it may or may not hurt sales. Speaking of sales, by the way, the gacha revenue charts for October are in as usual. And again, as a preface, this is no reason to cause for like concern or anything, or to pit any games against each other. But globally speaking, there was a definite drop off from the 35 million in September to, I say only, but down to 15 million in October. Again though, yes, it is a decrease, yes, the numbers do go down, but it is still a lot of money. And like I say, this shouldn't really affect most of us here because we can still play the game and enjoy it, but I do wonder if maybe the devs look at this and might have some concerns and they might, you know, make certain adjustments to the way that the game is headed. Ideally they don't though, because I still like the game as is. I don't think they need to make any drastic changes to try and up the revenue, aside from just making more cool characters. Which makes me wonder, why are they not releasing Miyabi? It's almost like Miyabi would be the emergency button, like the break in case of emergency if you want to make a lot of money or something like that. Otherwise though, that is going to be it for this week's news roundup of Zenless Zone Zero. As always, if you found this video useful, liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. So until next time, bye bye!